Hello and welcome to June Energy Forecast. This is Dana of Dana Spirit Butterfly, and I am, of course, a spirit channel, a soul coach, and a movement energetics practitioner. And so these videos are energy forecasts. Why do we do an energy forecast? Well, we are energy before we are matter. So while you do have a physical body and we can see, touch, taste, smell, and hear the physical plane, we also have a mind and we also have a spirit. And so these three things, when put together, are impacted by the energy that surrounds. So it's useful moving forwards to become aware of the potential for the energy in order for us to flow better with our lives and potentially with our decisions and maybe with our relationships. And so before we move forwards, it's always helpful to look at where we've just come from. And so where we've been, of course, is May. And during May, there were massive shifts. It was definitely a time of seed planting new ideas and of completely surrendering that the old ones no longer sat within what it is that we wanted for ourselves. And the universe was very specific with some of us with regards to what that is. And I like this idea that when the universe makes a directive, it is helpful to sit in the space of gratitude, of understanding that whatever it is that impacts us, sometimes while we sit and we feel uncomfortable about it initially, it may actually offer us the best solution for us. And sometimes our brain, is not that smart. I mean, it's smart. Our brain is pretty intelligent, but we are not just a mind. We also have so many other intelligences available to us, including our spirit selves and our soul self. And so when you start to tune in and work with your soul self and your spirit self, you start to understand that the brain, she's not that smart. She's impacted by her ancestral lineage. She's impacted by her biological inheritance, which in many ways, because of the nature of the way that we have progressed or evolved, if you want to use the scientific term, as physical beings, we have come from a past where we used to wander the savannah and we used to be attacked by animals that would eat us. And so we have our brains wired primarily to respond to what we call fight or flight or freeze. There's also a couple of other now scientifically accepted responses to the fight or flight response. Not across them currently, because that's not the purpose of this video, but they're just saying essentially that, and it's helpful to remind yourself that we do have that as a physiological response. So a lot of your emotional responses, they don't actually help you sometimes when they're sitting in a space of physicality, when they're sitting in the denser reality, or what a lot of people, highly intelligent people would declare that this response essentially is what is real and realities. Now, when we operate from reality, often we're coming from a space of fear, and May offered us a lot of opportunities to choose to decide how we viewed our world with the filter of fear. And most of us, when we sit in a space of fear, we actually make different choices moving forwards. We actually choose decisions that keep us safe rather than inspire us to greatness or inspire us to see the best in ourselves. And so this is a very old-fashioned way of thinking. This is a very limited view. And we, of course, are not limited as spiritual beings. We are limitless. We are only limited by our perception, our ability to believe and perceive what it is that our brains will digest. And so a regular practice, which many of you were encouraged to do in the last video, was to learn about how your mind worked, was to learn about its limitations and how it would create constructs to view the situation that you're in, to relive some of your past, relive some of your childhood. Many of you went through May reliving aspects that related to high school, that related essentially to the bickering and to the bitching and to the backstabbing that happened in high school. And of course, we're all adults now, so that type of a thought program is not helpful for us anymore. Indeed, the spirit world is reminding me that we are never, and we never have been, in competition. So feelings like jealousy and feeling the pressure to be a particular thing because you see that it happens to be working for Beyonce or some other currently popular female role model or male role model. That's all well and good, but that's great for Beyonce. It may not suit you. And so instead of driving yourself towards a market idea, how about you sit with yourself, and how about you be with yourself, and how about you express yourself in your authenticity? And that's essentially what May offered us, is this opportunity, despite the chaos and the conflict that happened in the external world, to be able to sit with us and to find peace and love in our hearts and a new way of expressing ourselves with authenticity. And so that's essentially what May was. For many of you who are across this work, for many of you who understand how to appreciate yourself as the limitless being that you are, you would have done quite well in May. You would have seen the ebbs and flows and the shifts and changes, and you would have kept your course. In fact, purpose essentially is a key word that comes up for May. Purpose. May was about fulfilling your purpose and keeping the course despite all of the earthquakes and all of the volcanic eruptions that were happening around you. Yes, they were happening in the physical world, but so too were they happening in your relationships. So too were they happening internally for you. And so that's essentially was May. May was also about rebalancing the masculine and feminine inside us. And indeed, the spirit world is reminding me that many of you, particularly women of a particular age, you would start to be asking the question whether or not it's time for you to give up your dreams of being with a partner, or of being with a man partner for the rest of your life, whether or not you just have to content yourself with the women in your life. And this is a question that will continue to be on the planet, not necessarily because there's something wrong with you, and not necessarily because there aren't men there for you, but because our society is currently undergoing a significant change with regards to our approach to sexuality and with regards to our approach to relationships in general. Now, this is a great thing. This is an amazing thing. But for you, the conflict would be that the old world you would have sat with the potential of the new world that you on some level know is coming, and you would have started to ask questions, and your mind is not ready to process essentially just yet the psychic information that you're being given with regards to how the future is going to unfold. Many of you are really stepping into your psychic self. Many of you are starting to receive spirit messages like never before. And this is great. This is amazing. This is entirely to plan. Do you understand that the planet has been speeding up for quite some time? The available light continues to amplify, which makes the veil between the spirit self and the spirit world and the physical plane much thinner. This is great. This is amazing. This is wonderful, because it means no time like ever before are we able to create our own reality and fully stand present in our space and say, do you know what? I see a better future for me. And I really believe that that's possible. At no point have we ever been so inspirationally inspired, have we been able to take action according to the things that light us up. We absolutely have that environment available to us now and continuing to grow. But the flip side of that, of course, is that your brain still belongs to the physical reality. And so if you've been having dreams of old relationships, of old situations, of old problems, or indeed if they seem to, the circumstances of these types of things keep coming up through your life, this is a great thing, because it means that you're ready for the shift. But if you have not been listening to them, or if you've been sitting and worrying and distressing about the potential for it to come back into your life, then I'm really sorry, dears, my loves, but whatever it is that you fuel and feed is what manifests in the future. So if you do not want them, you need to acknowledge that is the old you. You need to write it down and burn it in a burning ceremony. Give it to the fire spirit with love in your heart and compassion for your own journey. It is given to you so that you can sit with self-reflection, with compassion. If, however, you're choosing a different pathway, then this is suffering for you. So, moving forwards into June will be in many ways a continuation of flow on from May. There are still some themes that are coming across from May to June that have been present for most of the year. So, for example, this idea of flow, the understanding of being able to flow with regards to what comes up, is a very important resiliency. It's a skill. It's a resiliency skill that all of us need moving forwards. And so I'm being told and being shown actually a snake. Did you notice I did this with my hand? And so what they're saying with regards to snake energy is great energy, because it's about transformation. It's about shedding the layers of the old you and allowing the new you to just appear, because the new you was inside you this whole time. And so flowing with the energy of the snake spirit is what June will offer you, this ability to just keep moving forwards and to allow the ebbs and flows just to be a part of who you are now. The ebbs and flows are great. the whole material point, however, with the ebbs and flows, is to learn how to find the balance between the spiritual self and what you want, and finding the balance with the material needs that your physiology has. So that would be whether or not you need a car, whether or not you need a particular place to stay, whether or not you need to be eating a particular food because you have a sensitive stomach and you need to honor your diet. It may also be that you need particular people in your life, or particular support at work. It could be a whole number of things. These are material needs. These are things that you are allowed to ask for. Don't be afraid to ask for them. Of course, when you ask the spirit world, ask it with openness, with a desire to be given assistance. And then once you are given assistance, you need to be able to receive. A lot of people are really great at asking. Some people really suck at asking, and maybe that's the first step for you. But if you feel like you've been asking and you haven't been receiving, then the spirit world asks you to ask yourself, what areas in my life am I not allowing myself to receive? A very big thing specifically with women of a certain level of intelligence is that they keep asking, but they're not really good at sitting and listening. And listening might be that you just happen to have a random conversation with someone on the street who you ordinarily wouldn't have a conversation with. But the spirit world sometimes is offering you an opportunity to get your answers through them. We have these matrix of associations, these energy flows, that when we sit in flow, we are more likely to get our answers through not random, because there are no coincidences in the spirit world, and you are in the spirit world, you just happen to have a physical body. But in this situation, you may actually get your answers in random conversations. So being able to listen to someone without having an opinion, to be able to listen to someone without necessarily taking on their problems, can serve you and can be the way that you get your spirit messages. It's not the only way, of course. You can, of course, contact me for a spirit reading. I'm more than happy to assist you. I can act as the direct translator of spirit to assist you with that. But the spirit world says that you don't really necessarily need me, but I can act essentially as validation in a professional way that allows you to understand that the messages you are receiving essentially are the way that you're interpreting it. Or better still, as they're reminding me, I'm being asked specifically here in Denver to run a number of spirit channeling classes before I go, to allow people who are in the Denver and surrounds area an opportunity to start to receive two-way messages. This is a part of my mission here, is to empower all of you and your spirit self so that you can get direct messages from spirit. And I can do that, of course, one-on-one by coaching online if you can't make it to Denver. So very important. January, switching February. I know why they just did that. It's the hemisphere thing. Because obviously I'm from the southern hemisphere, but I'm currently in the northern hemisphere. So what they're going to talk about now essentially is just understanding, of course, there are a few things with regards to spiritual energy that's available for us. June, of course, here in the northern hemisphere is summer. Summer is a time where things start to hit their height, where things start to speed up, where everybody's having a party and everybody wants a little bit more attention, and we're outside a lot more. It's a great opportunity, of course, to recharge your cells with vitamin D, with the sun energy, the solar energy that we all need vitally for our growth and for our biochemistry, not just for the spirit, but also for the mind and for the body. So getting out and getting adequate sunshine, drinking lots of water, specifically here in Colorado. You know that we're in a desert here, so you need to drink significantly more. We're also the Mile High city. I'm in Golden at the moment, so this is even higher than that. So you need more oxygen. In order to get that, you need to drink more water. So please, good quality water. If you can, avoid tap water and make sure that you get either a filtered water or at least a spring water, ideally locally sourced, is the responsible way to go. But settling into summer, of course, there's going to be a lot of demands placed on you because of summer. So they're just asking you to be aware that this can significantly impact your ability to flow and your ability to be able to feel safe within yourself. With the southern hemisphere, of course, it's winter. Winter is a time for introspection. There is less social going on. And for many of you, the lack of social contact can depress your cells, depress your chi energy. And so they're asking you to sit down and write a list of all the things that you really love, that make you feel really warm, cozy, and nurtured. Make sure that you're eating properly. Make sure that you get some really good nutrient foods. Soups are really great during winter because there's a lot of vitamins and minerals you can get through the water-based broth, and empower yourselves that way. They're also reminding me that it's really great when you can to get outside and make sure that you get adequate sunshine. So even if it's just going going out mid for your lunch break actually, and just rolling your sleeves up so that you can get a little bit more exposure to the skin cells that are on your forearms and hands. And this is really great again for vitamin D levels. Beautiful. They're asking you specifically during June, the biggest tip that they want to pass on to you is this idea of presence. So presence is basically where I sit with me, I am with me, my attention is on me, and my opinion comes from my sense of expression that comes from my awareness of self. And so they're asking you to be present with you. When you are listening to someone, be present with you and observe yourself. When you are expressing yourself to someone, please observe yourself and see how you feel and see how you respond. When you're at home alone, witness and observe yourself. Of course, you are not alone when you sit in front of the TV. You're usually in everybody else's ideas that aren't necessarily a reflection of your reality. So please spend as much time as you can writing out some of your own story to be physically present with you. When you do this, this significantly increases your magnetism and allows you to be seen by others, allows you to be heard by others, allows your energy cells when you speak to resonate with your authenticity and your truth. This alignment allows the spiritual integration of all of the meditation many of you guys do to be integrated in a physical way. Therefore, more of the spiritual work that you do can be shown in the external world through your physical presence. So they're asking you to take responsibility for your presence, because that is where your personal power is seated, you and your presence with you. When you are present with you, when you show up into your own life, the spirit world is able to keep progressing you forwards. Many of you are receiving messages from spirit and you're interpreting them fine, but you do not do anything with the information. And when you don't do anything with the information, the spirit world gets repetitive, or it starts to get really muddled. And it does that because the spirit world kind of just throws its hand up and says, well, if this person is not going to take the energy that we're giving them in order to be of assistance to you and doing something with their actual life about that, then essentially there's no point in us spending the energy getting the message to the person. And so when you do get spiritual messages, please listen up and please do start to act on your own behalf, be present in your life. When you do this, the spirit world can support you much better and you'll find things will get much easier for you. Okay, so just wrapping up, thank you very much for listening. They're reminding me, of course, that July, in terms of flow, where June, July will go, July, there'll be a lot of family matters coming up. There'll be a lot of ancestral matters coming up. And so July will be a very good opportunity for us to sit in regression, past life regression, or to do some shamanic journey work. It will be also a really great time for us to spend some time out with the land. For many of you, it'll be vacation season. So go out and go to the beach and spend some time in nature. Nature really does reward you. They allow and assist you to be present. And so thus you get more personal power. So for many of you, there'll be a lot of travel in July, but for those of you who don't get to travel, do set aside some time to be with family. But if you can't also be with family, and they're talking about soul as well as blood family, do please spend some time sitting with you and acknowledging some of your ancestral past. Okay, so we will wrap this video up. Thank you very much for listening. I'm Dana Spirit Butterfly. I am, of course, Melbourne based, but at the moment I have a gypsy lifestyle, which basically means I travel the world. I'm in Colorado currently, and I'm here until the end of June. So if any of you are in the area, would like a personal session, please contact me. Of course, if you are in the US, I do online sessions as well, and I'm in your time zone currently, so it makes things a hell of a lot easier. I'll be heading to Europe in July, so if you happen to be in Europe and you'd like to touch base with me, I'll be in London, in Ireland, I'll be in Holland, the Netherlands rather, I'll be in Italy, France, and probably Germany. So do touch base if you'd like a visit, or if you have any questions. I'd really love to be of service. We do have a lot more videos coming up, so we are planning on adding to our whole group of things that we do to allow you to have some online education, so that if you're not physically with me, you can still do a lot of training on your own at home to develop your own innate intuitive gifts. We really want that for you. The spirit world certainly wants to be more active and present in your life if only you would allow them to be of service to you. Okay, so I wish you all the best for June. Have a great month. Take care and all the best. I love you. Spirit loves you. Love is why we are here. So enjoy. Take care.